I made the choice because I'm a woman.
Yes.
I'm a black woman, and I'm a mother.
Yes.
And I know a little something about being in a position where your civil rights are stripped from you and people look at you and tell you, we know what's better for you than you do.
Yes.
If you just listen to what they're saying to you, what Newsom is saying, what Lorena Gonzalez is saying, and some of the other politicians in Sacramento, if you actually listen to what they're saying, what they're telling you is you are too stupid to A, know when you're being exploited, and B, know what you need in terms of work and employment. You are not idiots. You are tax-paying citizens. How dare some of these people look you in the eye and tell you that you're being selfish because you want to decide who you work for and when you do the work. Meanwhile, you're paying their salary. The work that they are demanding you go do pays their salary, and yet they have the nerve to tell you that you're not allowed to work how you choose, to earn that money how you choose. It should offend everybody with an ounce of good sense. It certainly offends me. And one of the things that really offends me is we live in a state, and particularly we live in a city, where we boast about how open we are to immigrants, to minorities, how much we care for the least among us, single parents, and those who come here with a dream, but maybe nothing else. We provide a lot for those people because we believe in the American dream and we believe that it's open to everyone. And yet here is a bill that will grossly, disproportionately affect minority women, because it is minority women who make up the majority of some gig economy jobs, like nail technician, like hairdressers. I know I have a lot of friends who braid hair out of their apartments. Guess what happens to those jobs? Gone. Now, tax-paying citizens are being made criminals simply by virtue of wanting to work when they want to work. We cannot let this stand. This is absolutely a civil rights violation. You guys ever watch those movies? They're dystopian teen fantasies like Divergent or The Hunger Games. You can admit it, it's okay. But in those films, the plot is always the same. It's a big bad government trying to funnel people into the personalities and the jobs that they think are right for those people. Amen. These are fantasy. These are Hollywood movies. And yet, here we are in 2020 in Los Angeles, one of the greatest cities on the face of this earth, and certainly in this country, staring face to face with the dystopian fantasy, with a government who is telling us, we're going to funnel you into this job. We're going to funnel you into this industry. We're going to funnel you into this career because we think this is what's best for you. It's infantilizing. It is demoralizing, and we don't have to put up with it. I want to thank every person who took time to come out here today. For me, I drove 2 hours to get here. I drove 2 hours yesterday to go to a meeting. I'll do it again. There are a lot of people we invited to come here. We asked to come here to speak on behalf of the citizens who chose not to, because they are already in a job that's perhaps unionized, and their unions are you know, the official line is they're okay with the bill and they don't want to cause any trouble. And I don't want to render judgment on anyone. I get it. But we are in the fight of our lives here. This is no joke.
Yes.
This is not just an issue of, well, a few writers can't write the way they want to. This will fundamentally change the economy of California. This will fundamentally change the lifestyle that so many people risk life and limb to find every single day. We'll be pulling that life out from under them and they won't even know it. So this isn't just an issue of, well, I'm okay, you know, as long as I got mine, I'm not going to worry about if you got yours. If that's you, I understand, and I don't want to judge you for that, but we need you to step up. It is all hands on deck right now. Get out here and support your fellow artists, your fellow translators, courtroom reporters, cameramen. I mean, my God, the list goes on and on for who is affected by this. Get out here and support your civil rights, because if you think that it just stops here, it will not. If they get away with this, what else will they try to get away with? We cannot let this happen. We owe this to our brothers and sisters here in California who don't have a voice.
And our children.
And our children. Thank you. I moved here from the Midwest. I moved here from an inner city. And where we moved from, we didn't have the same kind of opportunities that we've been exposed to here in California. And it's been a tough life here because it is hard to sustain yourself here in a place like California. But there have been so many great things, and I'm so grateful to this state. It is my home. And the people in it don't deserve, I really feel like Californians get a bad rap from the rest of the country. You know, like we're all just here running around and we don't care what the government does. We vote wrong, we do this wrong. No, I believe every person here votes for what they think is right. You know, whether it's something I agree with, I believe every person here wants to support others who have less and need more. I do. But at some point, we have become the other people. Now we need help. So we need all of you to step up. You have a right. I was saying earlier, it blows my mind that it even needs to be said out loud. But you have the right to decide how you want to work. How can the government come in and tell you that the agreements you have made with another person are invalid, as long as they fall within the, you're not dealing drugs or something like that, you know? You guys, we have a voice. And I know this crowd here this morning seems small, but nothing's stopping here. We're only starting. We're gonna be in pain, thank you, yes. A lot of us are going to be experiencing a lot of pain over the next year. But if we can hold together, I really think we can make a difference. And we're up against a lot. We are up against an entity in Sacramento that has worked under the radar for so long and had so much money flowing through it that they've actually trained themselves to think that they don't need to be afraid of the voters.
They're public servants.
They are public servants. And we are their bosses. So a lot of us, God bless you, have just been working, keeping our heads down, trying to keep our families above water, and that's fair. But we're up against it now, so it's time to throw out some life preservers. You have options, you have power, you have to take it. So here's a few things I want you to do when you leave here today. There are a few ways you can take action. I went to a meeting at Senator Ben Allen's office in South Bay yesterday, and his staff were shocked to hear the dozens and dozens of stories that came through about how AB5 has killed their livelihoods and lifestyles. And one of the things they said is a lot of your representatives don't even know these stories. They don't even know that these things are happening. So call your state assemblyman and state senator's office and ask for a meeting on AB5. And all you want to do is be heard. And then invite people to the meeting. A lot of you guys have networks. A lot of you guys are editors, and maybe you have writers underneath you, or you're producers and you have crews underneath you. Take this message back to them. They're not here, you are. Take this message back to them. Tell them wherever they live in the state, wherever, LA, Sacramento, Central Valley, call your state reps, ask for a meeting, and then ask people to come tell their stories, because there is no more compelling story than yours. You have value. Your story is where the real power is. So let's get that story out. The other thing you can do is support a full repeal. We want full repeal.
Yeah.
It's going to be really important over the next few months that we stick together on this, because here's what's going to happen. They're going to start throwing out crumbs. They've already started, right? We're going to give you this carve out, that carve out. No one's asking to be carved into this thing. You know? It's not like this is such a great bill that people are like, get me on board. You know, everybody's begging to be released from this bill. We want full repeal because I really don't think anything else is going to do. There's always going to be another amendment, another exemption that can get pulled down the road once you guys are used to this. So a full repeal is really necessary. Don't let anyone tell you that they can fix it. It can't be fixed. It's unfixable. This is incredibly disastrous legislation. I'm not even sure anyone really read it before it went into effect. So we want full repeal. However, there are a couple of other things that are in our state legislature right now weaving its way through that you can demand support for. AB 1928, which is supported by Kevin Kiley and Melissa Melendez, is a repeal bill. You can support that.
Yes.
There's also a constitutional amendment being batted around right now, ACA 19, which is the Right to Earn a Living Act. Did you ever think we would need a constitutional amendment
No.
to give us the right to work? But here we are, folks. All right, that's another thing you can do. Or Gavin Newsom actually does have the power to just repeal this by executive order.
Yes.
So that's another thing you can do. I wouldn't settle for anything less than an executive order. This bill kills the great equalizer. The gig economy has been the great equalizer of the 21st century. It has made it so that people who can't afford a fancy education, you know, a $400,000 degree, or can't spend 10 years of their lives training to do this job or that, it has produced a merit-based economy that has lifted up more people out of poverty than any other apparatus at any time in the 21st century. So we are living the American dream right now. We are living the results of what can happen when you are free to dream and free to pursue those dreams. The great equalizer has been the internet, which drives the gig economy. And now we have people in Sacramento who look at you and out of their lips tell you, we want everyone to be equal, we want to equalize you, but all they've done is created animal farms. Some of y'all are more equal than others. We are California. We are the people that make this state work, and we deserve better. Repeal AB5!